Pixel art is always charming and fun, and sometimes all we want is a calm, cozy game to relax. So today, I brought 12 pixel art titles that are peaceful, slow-paced, and perfect for a rainy day or a quiet weekend. And stick around, because at the very end, we have a classic 2D gem you absolutely should know. LENNA'S Inception is a glitch-twisted 2D action RPG that starts with a shock. The legendary hero is dead, and the world is literally falling apart. You play as Lenna, a reluctant teacher forced into the role of savior, as a strange corruption spreads across the kingdom. From the very first moments, the game mixes classic Game Boy-style pixel art with intentional visual breaks, creating a world that feels unstable, dangerous, and oddly charming at the same time. The adventure revolves around exploring 8 randomly generated dungeons, each filled with traps, weird enemies, and handcrafted bosses known as the Archangels. Combat is simple but satisfying, with swords, bows, magical items, and plenty of quirky tools that completely change how you approach each room. Because the world is semi-procedural, no dungeon ever plays exactly the same, giving the game a strong roguelite flavor while still keeping a solid narrative backbone. One of the coolest elements is the glitch mechanic. Sometimes the environment distorts, NPCs speak corrupted lines, or areas break into strange patterns, revealing secrets or altering the flow of combat. It gives the game a mysterious identity, blending nostalgia with experimental design. You also get to tame pets, brew potions, collect gear, and unlock a wide variety of upgrades that keep the journey fresh from start to finish. With its retro charm, unpredictable world design, and 2 different endings depending on your choices, LENNA'S Inception stands out as one of the most inventive indie pixel RPGs you can play today. Cozy, weird, and full of surprises. World's Dawn is a charming, relaxing life sim RPG inspired by classic Harvest Moon, built around slow days, warm routines, and the joy of helping a small coastal village come back to life. You arrive in Sugar Blossom as the town's newest resident and quickly meet its quirky cast of villagers, each with their own personalities, routines, and little story arcs that unfold as you spend time with them. The game's soft pixel art is one of its strongest points. Bright colors, expressive animations, and cozy details that make the world feel lived in. Lanterns glow at night, waves gently hit the shore, and each season brings new colors and festivals. It's the kind of atmosphere that invites you to relax. Take your time and enjoy the rhythm of everyday life without pressure. Gameplay revolves around familiar but satisfying tasks: farming a small plot of land, cooking recipes for local competitions, fishing by the docks, caring for animals, and improving your farmhouse. Exploration also rewards curiosity, with hidden areas, seasonal events, and small secrets scattered throughout the village. Where World's Dawn really stands out is in its social side. Villagers remember your actions, react to weather and festivals, and open up gradually as your friendships deepen. You can even pursue romance with several characters, unlocking heartfelt scenes as your relationships grow. Everything in the game is designed to feel cozy and peaceful. Whether you're planting crops, chatting with neighbors, decorating your home, or simply watching the snow fall outside, World's Dawn delivers a gentle, nostalgic experience. The perfect pixel art escape for a slow weekend or a quiet night. Tinyfolks is a minimalist, fast-paced pixel art RPG that blends town building, party management, and strategic turn-based combat in a surprisingly deep way. You play as a ruler forced out of your kingdom who settles in a tiny village, rebuilding your forces and preparing to reclaim your land from the Dark Lord. It looks cute and cozy, but the gameplay quickly reveals layers of challenge. Your settlement begins with only a few huts, but soon, you'll construct training halls, forges, towers, and magical buildings to shape recruits into stronger classes. Every villager can become something valuable: archers, knights, healers, mages, rogues, and upgrading them becomes a satisfying loop of planning and experimenting with team setups. Each class brings specific skills that matter heavily in battle, making party composition feel meaningful. Combat is quick and tactical. Enemies hit hard, status effects matter, and timing your abilities correctly can decide whether your squad survives or you lose a recruit forever. Dungeons rotate daily, offering forests, caves, deserts, and other biomes that require different strategies and encourage you to adapt to new enemy types. Even with its tiny sprites, the game is full of charm. Villagers bounce with cute animations, combat effects are clean, and watching your village expand is rewarding. The chiptune soundtrack adds a nostalgic vibe that feels straight out of classic handheld RPGs. Tinyfolks may look simple, but beneath the adorable pixel art lies a tight, addictive loop of strategy, progression, and smart decision-making, perfect for short sessions or long nights when you want something small, cozy, and tactical. Moonstone Island starts with a quiet moment of freedom. You leave your small hometown behind and glide into a world of floating islands, each one packed with life, secrets, and cozy adventures. Instead of throwing você direto em batalhas ou chaos, the game invites you to breathe, explore, and settle into its warm, pixel art atmosphere. It's the kind of RPG where every sunrise feels like a fresh chance to discover something new. As a young alchemist, your goal is simple: build a home, master potion making, and explore the Sky Archipelago. Your island becomes your safe haven, a place to farm, craft tools, grow magical plants, and decorate your space exactly the way you want. But the sense of wonder really grows when you leave your island and start hopping between dozens of floating lands, each with different biomes, weather, and hidden treasures. Along the way, you'll meet spirits, charming magical creatures that join your team. And combat is turn-based with deck-building mechanics, letting você mix abilities and build creative strategies without ever feeling overwhelming. Dungeons scattered across the sky bring light challenges, rare loot, and new spirits to collect. The art direction shines with vibrant colors, expressive animations, and cozy GBA-style visuals that make every island feel alive. Paired with a relaxing soundtrack, the world feels peaceful and full of personality. Moonstone Island blends life sim comfort with gentle RPG progression, creating a calm and engaging adventure that's perfect for weekends, rainy days, or anyone wanting a break in a beautiful floating world. Aground starts with nothing but a stranded survivor, a dark shoreline, and a desperate need to rebuild from scratch. What looks like a simple mining and crafting game quickly reveals itself as something much bigger. Every resource you gather, every shelter you build, and every NPC you rescue pushes the world forward in surprising ways. And that sense of discovery is the real heartbeat of the experience. At first, you're digging for ore, planting crops, and trying to stay alive. But as you progress, Aground slowly transforms. New characters arrive with quests, knowledge, and hints about a lost civilization. Technology expands from stone tools to electricity, vehicles, and even advanced research. And just when you think you've seen everything, the game introduces magic, spells, enchanted gear, mythical creatures, and yes, even the chance to raise your own dragons. Exploration is constant, with multiple islands to uncover, each bringing new biomes, dangers, and secrets. The gameplay loop stays addictive. Mine, craft, upgrade, repeat, but always with clear goals and a strong narrative pulling you forward. What begins as a survival challenge eventually becomes a full RPG progression system with skill paths, branching choices, and big reveals. Aground's pixel art is simple but effective, focused on readability and charm rather than detail. As your settlement grows and your technology advances, the world expands with you, opening paths you never expected. By the time you leave your first island, it's clear the game isn't just about surviving, it's about evolving, pushing further, and chasing the next big breakthrough. The Great Coffee Caper isn't out yet, but I seriously can't wait to play it. Every time I see a clip or screenshot, it hits me with this warm nostalgia, that cozy, old-school 2D vibe that feels straight from the handheld era, and honestly, that alone made me want to include it here. If I'm excited for it, I want you to know about it too, so you can look forward to it with me. The game takes place in a charming pixel art town where coffee isn't just a drink. It's basically the heart of the adventure. You play as a small, expressive character wandering through colorful cafes, tiny streets, quirky NPCs, and light story-driven missions. Even in early previews, the world feels alive and welcoming, with a tone that mixes humor, personality, and that just sit back and enjoy atmosphere. What stands out the most is how polished everything already looks. The animations are smooth, the environments feel handcrafted, and the whole experience seems built around exploration and small discoveries rather than combat or grinding. It feels like the kind of game you'd want to play on a quiet weekend, talking to characters, solving small puzzles, and just enjoying the mood at your own pace. Since it's still upcoming, we don't know everything yet. But that mystery is part of what makes it exciting. If the final game keeps the charm shown in the previews, the Great Coffee Caper might become one of those little indie surprises everyone ends up recommending. And honestly, I hope you'll be ready to try it the moment it finally releases. Traveler's Rest is one of those games that's honestly impossible not to know, and if you don't know it yet, you should play it right now. This cozy pixel art tavern sim has grown a huge following for a simple reason. It's incredibly satisfying to run your own inn from the ground up. You start as a lone tavern keeper with a rundown building and slowly transform it into a thriving, warm, bustling hub full of travelers, adventurers, merchants, and quirky locals. The gameplay is a mix of management, crafting, farming, and light exploration, but everything flows in a calm, relaxing rhythm. You brew your own drinks, cook meals, build furniture, decorate rooms, grow ingredients, and manage customers while watching your little tavern come alive day by day. There's something addictive about expanding your inn, unlocking new recipes, upgrading your tools, and turning a tiny wooden room into a real medieval hotspot. What really makes Traveler's Rest special is the atmosphere. The pixel art has that soft, inviting glow, and every animation, from pouring a drink to placing a new table, feels handcrafted. NPCs come and go with personality, and the world around you slowly opens up as you improve your tavern and gain reputation. Even though it's cozy and laid back, the game has surprising depth. There's a real progression system, tons of items to craft, and enough freedom to make your tavern feel uniquely yours. Whether you want to focus on farming, brewing, decorating, or socializing with visitors, the game adapts to your style. If you somehow miss this gem, Traveler's Rest is the perfect place to slow down, relax, and build something you'll be proud of. One cup, one meal, and one cozy night at a time. Serin Fate is a magical pixel art RPG that starts simple, but quickly reveals just how strange, deep, and charming it really is. You play as a witch whose life changes after a mysterious event, pushing you into a world filled with spells, alchemy, monsters, and creatures called chimera that you can capture, raise, and use in battle. The game blends classic RPG exploration with life sim elements. One moment you're gathering herbs or crafting potions, and the next you're exploring glowing forests or fighting corrupted beasts that appear only at night. As you progress, you learn new magical disciplines, unlock gear upgrades, and discover puzzles and hidden shrines scattered across the map. Combat is real-time with a tactical feel, since spell timing, items, and your chimera abilities make a big difference. Even simple exploration can get dangerous fast, especially when nighttime shifts the world and brings out tougher creatures. The day-night cycle also affects resources, quests, and the characters you meet, making the world feel alive and unpredictable. What really makes Serin Fate stand out is its atmosphere. It's magical without being childish, cozy without losing challenge, and mysterious in a way that constantly pushes you to explore just one more area. The pixel art is colorful and detailed. The soundtrack has a charming mystical tone, and every biome feels handcrafted with secrets waiting to be found. If you enjoy RPGs with crafting, exploration, monsters, and a sense of discovery, Serin Fate is one of the most unique indie games you can jump into today. Seed of Nostalgia is an upcoming pixel art JRPG that immediately caught my attention. And yes, it's another one I'm genuinely excited for. Each new glimpse of the game has that warm, nostalgic feeling that only a carefully crafted world can deliver. It mixes beautiful pixel visuals with expressive animations and a calm, story-focused atmosphere that pulls you in right away. You explore towns, forests, and mysterious ruins while meeting eccentric NPCs, gathering items, and uncovering pieces of lore that slowly build toward a larger narrative. Even with its simple look, the game has a surprising amount of detail, smooth effects, lively environments, and a color palette that makes every area feel inviting. Combat is fully turn-based, with a focus on strategy, positioning, and smart use of abilities. Enemies have patterns that reward planning, and characters seem designed to complement each other through combos and support skills. Outside battles, the game hints at crafting, farming elements, and relationship building to deepen the adventure. What makes Seed of Nostalgia stand out is how it blends coziness with mystery. It feels peaceful, but there's always something strange or magical waiting around the corner. It gives you that sense of wandering through a world with history, a place that existed long before you arrived. It's still not released, but everything shown so far suggests it might become one of the most charming indie JRPGs coming up. And honestly, I can't wait to play it the moment it launches. Forager is one of those indie hits that almost everyone has heard about, and for a good reason. This game is pretty famous, and honestly, I've played it many times every time I go back. It hooks me all over again with that perfect mix of simplicity, progression, and non-stop rewards. It starts small, just you on a tiny island, gathering basic resources and crafting your first tools. but within minutes, the world expands in a way that feels incredibly satisfying. You unlock new islands, discover biomes full of secrets, fight quirky enemies, and build machines that automate almost everything. What begins as a relaxing gathering loop soon transforms into a fast-paced cycle of exploration, crafting, farming, dungeon crawling, and puzzle solving. There's always something new to chase, a new skill to unlock, a new structure to build, or a new area to uncover. The game's pixel art is bright and energetic, with cute animations that keep everything light and fun. Despite its simple look, the game offers a surprising amount of depth. Thanks to its massive skill tree, rare artifacts, and hidden challenges spread across the map, you can focus on combat, automation, farming, economics, or mix everything to create your own playstyle. Forager works because it constantly rewards your curiosity. No matter where you go or what you do, something good happens. It's the kind of game you start just for a few minutes and suddenly realize an hour has passed. Charming, addictive, and endlessly replayable. There's always a reason to return to this little world. Cattails is one of the most unusual and charming pixel-style games you can play. A game that looks simple at first, but ended up becoming a well-deserved success. Instead of controlling a hero, a farmer, or an adventurer, here you live as a cat exploring the wilderness, hunting, socializing, and surviving in a world that feels surprisingly immersive. It's a different concept, but that's exactly why so many players fell in love with it. You start by choosing your colony and customizing your cat, then the game slowly opens up with hunting mechanics, territory control, relationships, and even story quests. Despite the peaceful appearance, there's strategy underneath. You need to hunt efficiently, upgrade your skills, form alliances, and help your colony grow stronger. The cycle of waking up, exploring the forest, catching prey, and returning home becomes incredibly relaxing, almost therapeutic. The pixel art is soft and colorful, and the animations give each cat tons of personality. The world changes with the seasons, adding new challenges and visuals that keep the game fresh. The soundtrack is calm and atmospheric, reinforcing that cozy feeling of wandering through the woods. What really makes Cattails stand out is how unique the experience is. There aren't many games that mix life sim, exploration, and light RPG mechanics through the perspective of a cat, and yet everything here works surprisingly well. Whether you're hunting, digging up treasures, or building friendships, the game keeps you engaged without ever feeling stressful. Eastward is probably the most famous game on this entire list, and honestly, it deserves every bit of that reputation. This is one of those pixel art adventures that immediately grabs your attention with its stunning visuals and keeps you hooked with its emotional storytelling. The art direction is beautiful, full of rich colors, expressive animations, and handcrafted environments that make every town, every dungeon, and every tiny detail feel alive. You follow John and Sam, an unlikely duo traveling through a collapsing world, meeting strange characters, facing danger, and uncovering mysteries that slowly grow into something much bigger. It's charming at first, a little weird in the best way possible, and surprisingly heartfelt the deeper you go. The writing is funny, warm, and full of personality, and the way the story shifts between cozy moments and emotional scenes keeps the experience engaging from start to finish. The gameplay mixes exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. You swap between John and Sam to combine abilities, solve small dungeon challenges, and take down enemies in simple but satisfying battles. It's not a difficult game, but it's very rewarding thanks to its pacing, world building, and the constant sense of discovery. The soundtrack is another highlight, delivering relaxing tracks, mysterious tones, and energetic themes that fit perfectly with each area. Everything feels polished, intentional, and crafted with a lot of love. Among pixel art games of the last decade, Eastward stands out as a modern classic, beautiful, emotional, and full of charm. And that's exactly why it's the most well-known game on this list. Pixel art games keep surprising us, and I hope at least one of these found a place on your weekend playlist. And, as promised, here's the extra pick. Magical Vacation. This little gem never left Japan officially, which is probably why so many people have never even heard of it. But honestly, it's one of the most beautiful 2D JRPGs ever made. Stunning animations, a huge world, and a really creative elemental combat system. Every time I look at it, I wish it had gotten a worldwide release. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.